Yeah, that is what I like to see, the intro. I always love that little video. Frost, we're back. It is Invictus Gaming versus Star and World Club, game number 2. As you can see, the kill spread and deaths and assists and everything else on the screen. Starhorn and Invictus made it a very, very close game. However, in the end, Starhorn pulled it out, and let's see if they can do it again.
Picks and bans went absolutely the way of Starhorn World Cup. We talked about Uzi, Caitlyn having that matchup. Of course, MVP is going to go to Kola in the top lane.
You know, and if that had been won by Invictus, it would have easily gone to Youngsu. That carry Gragas, though.
Oh yeah, Youngsu showed up huge for his Gragas. Unfortunately, the gimmick fight composition from IG didn't pan out. I think this is the second time around that Zilean really hasn't been the go-to for Zatai. Definitely a very exciting and very close game, though. So we'll see if IG can overcome the tilt and try to make this a 1-1 spread.
And if they do manage to do it, that will certainly help them out standings-wise. But right now, they find themselves in a one-game deficit, and yeah, they really have to be more careful about the picks and bans, allowing way too many weapons into the hands of Starhorn Road Club. They gave them just about everything they wanted. All they didn't give them, pretty much, was Cola's Jax.
And definitely the Lee Sin there from Insect. And it's hard for me to say this because, you know, I don't like to get down on IG, but the shot caller, the composition, like the shot calling, the team captain, Zatai right now has that position. There's been some criticism in China that, you know, Zatai is maybe too young, that it's not working out for IG, that the correct decisions aren't being called, and I kind of have to agree at this point. There's no reason that consistently back to back, that IG should be letting these threats going through, that they should be running these compositions, because it's just not working for them. Why aren't they gearing back towards kind of the more traditional meta picks? We talked about kind of last split, IG was in very much a similar boat. They couldn't get anything off the ground. They stumbled out of the gate. They're having a really rough first half to split, and then they kind of was like, you know who Kid plays really well? He plays Ezreal, so we should just put him on Ezreal. Kid immediately reverted back to Ezreal, and suddenly IG, you know, gets into the playoffs and finishes second for the spring split, so.
Might be an argument to do it again. I mean, the Lucian pick seemed a little bit shaky going up against Uzi's Caitlyn. They already had known that that was going to be a possibility, and yet they lock it in really quickly anyways. Seems like they've just adapted to the patch, perhaps a little bit behind. They did, however, pioneer the Skarner pickup, and I think Illusion did quite well on that.
Oh, definitely. The Skarner pickup wasn't an issue, and even like the Zilean pickup, it still technically worked for them, but they couldn't get going kind of across the board. Youngsu came out big, and you know, Kid looked good in the team fight, but the composition wasn't there to scale. They didn't have enough across the board damage threats. You talk about how Lulu is a huge pick in LPL because Lulu's such a good mid bridge. Like she survives the early game, the middle game, and then she passes all of her power kind of to the AD carry in the back half of that. But Kid Lucian compared to Uzi Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to outscale. Not going to say, I'm not going to bring up, you know, the Kid versus Uzi, who's better. I think Uzi definitely has a bit more of a better international reputation of being kind of a more respected AD carry, but that's a formidable opponent to face off. And to have Lucian, a champion that Kid hasn't shown a ton of success on, or even really a ton of presence on, he's mostly played Twitch this split.
Yeah, and you know, Twitch did get hit pretty hard with the nerf bat in the 410 patch. However, you know, it was still being discovered that he was a pretty viable champion regardless. And in China, they've had a lot of time to digest that news before the patch even came down to the pipe. So it's possible that we see him pick this one up again, but I would love to see, you know, back on something like Ezreal again.
Again, we talk about Trinity Force wasn't really hit in the 4.10 patch. A lot of different AD carries kind of had their build pass messed around with. So I would love to see Kid kind of go back to his roots, play more of a Trinity Force-esque champion, whether if he wants to try to pull out the Kog'Maw again, if he wants to try to go back to Ezreal. I think Ezreal's a little bit shaky kind of where his true build path is right now. They definitely need to keep the Caitlyn out of Uzi's hands, which unfortunately might mean expending a ban.
Yeah, we'll see what they do this time as we're looking to go into picks and bans in just a minute, but the intense looks on all the players' faces. They are taking this one quite seriously, you can tell. As they should. It's worth a lot of circuit points.
But
it's important.
The momentum is there for Starhorn Royal Club, and with this victory, I mean, World Elite does play later on into the evening. They are technically now the second place solidified team, so in the standings, it is OMG Starhorn Royal Club.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really good for them, as a lot of people going into the split put a lot of pressure on them to do well. They were considered to be a very, very dark horse team, and now they're starting to prove it. So picks and bans already underway right now. Starhorn, once again, This time on the blue side, expend their first ban against Illusion. It is J4. What are they going to answer with on the side of Invictus?
Yasuo. Yasuo would need to be banned off the table. I don't think that they can let Zero have Thresh uncontested again, so looks like it's going to be Jax's Cola, making sure that one isn't going to go through, which makes sense. Cola versus Youngsu. Youngsu hasn't had the best track record in that top lane, although very different showing from last game. I expect
Starhorn bans Yasuo.
Wow.
All right.
Well, with that, I think Corn's either going to look Ziggs or Orianna then. Syndra's still definitely on the board, however.
Yeah, there's a lot of mid lane picks, and the Cassid ban, pretty expected. Again, although it came on the other side this time, and I think even Invictus didn't expect the Yasuo ban coming out the other side.
With that Yasuo ban, it pretty much shuts down the Zilean pick, however. Zilean, obviously, the counter to the big all-in assassin, so we'll see if we see it back-to-back, but I don't think it's really in the cards right now for IG with that Yasuo ban.
This time, Thresh banned away, so neither Zero nor Kitties get to play on that champion. Nami probably going to be the next contested pick. What is the last ban for Invictus, though? They're really thinking it over, though.
Zatai's banning for his team. Look at that. Reached over on Youngsu's computer.
That's
Again,
okay, I got this.
Zatai getting so much... I mean, right now he's the shot caller, the captain of IG, and IG's record really isn't backing up kind of this decision. You have to think he's a very young player, too. Considered a veteran of the scene. Got involved when he was 13, 14 years old. He's only 17 now, like just turned 17.
The Lee Sin ban. Yeah. It is quite a lot of pressure, especially for somebody as young. And look at this. Cola going to hover the Gragas right now. I think he's played it this season.
It's definitely a hit to Youngsu, though. With that, I would expect Youngsu to look at Shyvana. Ooh, but instantly locks in the Lulu.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting. At the flex pick, Lulu again. And now, what does Illusion pick up? Is he going to take a jungler first? There are plenty of high-tier picks still available, but no, they'll opt for Braum. And don't be alarmed by the smite. It's probably going to be for Kitties. We've seen Jungle Braum once in LPL, but I don't think Invictus are going to pull that one off.
Please, Jungle Braum round 2. No, I think that only worked because they had the Thresh support.
Oh, Insect going to go with the Skarner, too. Oh, please lock it in. Please lock it in. I'll be really happy.
I love the game that Starhorn Royal Club is playing with IG's champion pools right now. Recognizing Illusion, the fact that, you know, Pantheon got hit, banning out the Jarvan away from him, now looking at the Skarner, definitely kind of trying to narrow him into where they want him to go with his champion picks. Obviously, the jungle much smaller than it used to be as far as viable picks. And I also wanted to talk about kind of the top Lulu. I've talked a lot about how I feel like top Lulu pretty much fell off everywhere except for Soaz, kind of internationally, just because of the double jungle meta, and Lulu, it bypasses her early bully lane phase, so there's pretty much no reason for her to do it. I like the fact that top Lulu is going to work in the case of Starhorn Royal Club, knowing that Uzi is going to try to pressure for that 2v2 lane, because, you know, he wants to go toe-to-toe. He has that reputation of, you're going to fight me, and I'm going to prove that I'm the best. So meaning that top Lulu's going to get the 1v1, and she's going to be able to utilize her bully potential, so I really like this. Although, that's a Shyvana pickup. So that's Lulu mid, so there goes my entire argument.
You know, it's okay. Like, you know, maybe they'll salvage it, sends a time. He plays strange stuff, right? I'm already liking this composition on the side of Invictus Gaming a lot better than what they had last game. They have clearly more comfort-based champions, as well as very, very strong general picks. Kid going to be on one of those Triforce champions he favors. Although on the side of Starhorn, these first 3 picks were actually directly mirroring what IG did last time, and now they lock it in. Wow, a Ziggs and a Brand, and this is, are we going to see support Brand this game?
That has to be support Brand.
Or support Gragas. Wow, this is
Illusion fell
crazy.
back to his Fiddlesticks. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's a pocket Fiddlesticks pick. Little known fact, this used to be banned against Illusion like consistently. The last time he brought it out did not go over well for him. I believe he just got camped into the ground, his jungle never got off the ground, but beforehand this used to be a very big comfort pick for Illusion.
Can I just make a prediction right now based on all of this?
Yes.
This is going to be a fantastic game. I cannot believe we're getting to see Skarner Fiddlesticks, Gragas wherever he's going. I mean, this is going to be great. I'm excited. Support Brand, please.
I believe we have a, a commercial break, though, before we hit the
We're going to have a quick commercial break. So, you know, while we have to digest all of this, yeah, it's going to be quite the game. I'm definitely calling that right now. Well, let's see how it goes as we take a brief break while we load up onto the Rift. So guys, don't be alarmed by the commercial breaks and the lack of us talking. We'll be back with game number 2 of Starhorn Royal Club and Invictus Gaming, who's going to take it out of this one.
把日子的颜色调一调。
是哇，非常令人期待的一场比赛啊！皇族竟然拿出这么酷炫的一个阵型，到底火男辅助是会技惊四座，
一下就吸引了大家的注意力，
还是会惨死当场？其实我不知道，其实我不知道，我没有诅咒他，我是说我不知道。
所以要看一下他表演。教练，你看怎么样？
教练你怎么看？
我觉得不行。
好的，皇族对上 IG， 让我们拭目以待。
All right, we are back, and it is going to be game number 2 of Starhorn Royal Club taking on Invictus Gaming. Interesting picks and bans coming out of this game. Zero on a support brand, and Insect rocking Skarner, and there's just a whole lot of fun stuff this game, Froskarin.
We've got a Skarner, we've got a support brand, and we have the return of the Fiddlesticks jungle that LPL was pretty much terrified. See my pun there?
Yeah.
Oh, I can bring it out sometimes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is going to be such an amazing game. And Kitty's got Braum. Kid is going to be on Kog'Maw. I mean, this is just going to be so out of the ordinary. And speaking of, we're starting a little more action. Uzi getting caught up by Kitties in this bot side. He can't quite get the last stun off, so the custom blows will not land. Oh, they will actually, as looks like Zatai said, hey, you're not getting away from me. Now they will look to do this steal of the blue buff, actually just getting a ward down first. Going to last for that full minute. Nice early invade, actually, for Invictus to put a little more fear to the side of Starhorn. See what I did there?
I got that. It's kind of taking a page out of my book. Okay, but let's talk like actual picks, and let's kind of break this down. Fiddlesticks fell out of favor for obvious reasons. The issue being that, you know, if someone picks Elise, Lee Sin, kind of the top tier jungles, they're just going to walk into the jungle and they're going to kill him. Obviously, facing Skarner this time, so a little bit safer, although Skarner has a decent bit of damage behind him. Fiddlesticks is kind of scary level 3 in his jungle just because if you walk in, you try to kill him, the drain, but Skarner now has his stun. So I definitely think that the kill pressure for Insect to invade Illusion early is there. What I like about this team composition from IG is that they're bringing strong lanes. Braum, Shyvana, Lulu. Clearly Lulu, very strong in the early game to protect Illusion's jungle and to get him off the ground. This would not work if you brought, like, trying to think of just someone who's really weak early in lane, like Vladimir or something.
Yeah, well, why not? We've already seen a whole lot of interesting picks. Looks like it will be the red start for Invictus and a blue steal for Insect and Starhorn World Club, but they do have a ward down, knowing that's happened, immediately transition over to the blue side. And it will be a lane swap in favor of Invictus Gaming as you see Kid making his way up there. But meanwhile, Kitty's actually going to join the jungle party, and it'll be a 3-man on this blue buff for the time being. Kid should have no trouble dueling it out with Cola for just a moment.
Again, the lane swap is all about denying the kill pressure from Uziai's lane, especially with that support brand right there, making sure that Kid has an easy go and is able to bypass his Kog'Maw into late game. Also a lot more security for Illusion to secure his blue buff, that very important on Fiddlesticks jungle.
Yep, so he's able to pick that one up. But now the weakness here is that they're leaving this bot lane completely unguarded for Uzi and Zero to poke down, but they have no intention of dealing with that bot lane, at least just yet. That is a pretty deadly combo. A lot of damage between those two champions.
Definitely, the kill potential there. Zero taking the Ignite, has the Brand. It's all really about hitting that skill shots. Brand support offers, it's like I've played this a few times or something. Brand support offers good wave clear. Obviously, he has his W available to him, brings decent CC. Can lock you up. Fantastic burst damage early. A lot of AoE potential. It's almost kind of Annie support-esque in a sense.
Yeah, but a little more ranged. Just as much fire.
Just as much fire, indeed.
Looks like we will see the 2v2 once again recommence. Well, not fully, as Kid is still there in the top lane, but he's by himself this time. And actually, Cola, he's done the Teemo strategy. He's just sitting in a bush, not really able to do much here. He's going to back away for the time being, but it will actually be Yangsu partnering up with Kitties in this bot lane, and that should give them enough sustain to last out this lane for the time being.
Cola's just pretty much trying to bypass and get as many free levels as he can without trying to eat Kog'Maw. Of course, we do have the roaming support on the side of IG, trying to help out Young Su there.
Yep, so far they'll be able to push this one away, but you've got to watch out, though. You don't know where Insec is, and Kid, by himself in this top lane, a bit dangerous. Cola is backing and then canceling and backing and then canceling. They also don't know where Illusion is, though, in all of this as well, and you mentioned Fiddlesticks Jungle did fall out of favor against the top tier junglers, as we like to refer to them as, but this was something that he was known for quite a long time, and it's pretty dangerous. Now they're going to get the action in here. Cola, Kid, he's not going to get locked up, though. He's okay. Staying safe for the time being. We'll poke out Insect, and they are going to just force the reset. Nicely done.
Good job from Cola right there. Just stay hidden in that bush for so long, and so far forward, too. Got a decent bit of damage of Kid, got him to burn the pot, didn't turn it into a kill, but I mean, he got exactly what he wanted. He got free levels without being poked out by Kog'Maw.
Yeah, and Insect responding, though, does reveal a little bit, so Illusion, he's not actually ganked just yet, as this lane's have been kind of crazy. Yangsu going to bear the brunt of a lot of that one. Uzi nicely dodging away from the Q kitties. 0 on this brand pick, though. What does this do to this lane? This is a really, really interesting choice.
I feel like, yeah, we talk about the kill pressure that anytime you bring kind of a non-traditional support or a mage-heavy support, whether that be LeBlanc, Syndra, Brand, Annie, not Annie so much, just kind of the recent changes to her, but, you know, Annie in the past, you bring kill presence, but you're against Braum, Shyvana. Very tanky lane, very hard to lock them down. Kitty's obviously offering a lot of safety for Young Su there. Has his giant shield, can block the Brand Q when he tries to go for the stun, so I feel like right now he's just spamming just to get the Spell Thief stacks. I don't think that Zero actually thinks that there's going to be necessarily a kill without the help of Insect there, but he just needs to make the most of his gold item.
Yeah, it seems like they're playing kind of a game of chicken right now. Not the 4VO chicken that we used to talk about, but the one that's more conventional. They're just, hey, do we go in? Do we go in? Do we not go in? I don't know. Illusion now hanging around the backside, and they're pinging. We don't know where the rest of the team is. There's actually a teleport spent by Cola already, so there's no kill pressure answerable for that. Now Illusion looking to make a play somewhere, but he can't quite decide where he wants to go.
I think he's just going to waddle over to his wraiths here. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of kill opportunity across this map at all, which, you know, it's okay for Fiddlesticks. He's more known for his ganks at level 6, does have potential early level, but he needs those levels into Fear to get that cooldown up. Excuse me, not the cooldown, the duration.
If Insect wiggles, does that mean Illusion fiddles?
I would hope so, but he's wiggling now into this bot lane.
Yeah, can't quite get the answer on that one, and I don't think Uzi and Zero were actually prepared for that to happen. They didn't go forward, trying to bait it out perhaps, but denied gank. Insec is going to have to look for some solace at his Wraith camp instead.
Korn blowing his ultimate in that mid lane just to put it on cooldown while he goes back. Not a bad idea, clearing out that wave, doing some decent damage to Zitai, but otherwise this mid lane, 61 CS to 44.
Yeah, for as crazy as this game promised to be in the beginning, it's actually been surprisingly low on action. I think neither of these teams really expected the other one to make the picks that they did, and they're like kind of just feeling it out now.
Illusion giving over the second round blue buff to Zitai in that mid lane. And we have to expect that it was going to be a little bit slower. You don't have the hyper carry kill presence junglers like Lee Sin, Elise, Kha'Zix, Rengar in the game. It is Skarner, it is Fiddles.
This is going to be nuts, though, once everybody gets up to level 6. And actually, they're just about to that level in the jungle. Both junglers at 5 right now. And I cannot wait to see some Crowstorm ganks. It has been way too long.
The thing that I need refresher on that I've been trying to browse through and find the clip of is if he Crowstorms in and he gets impaled, does the Crowstorm AoE stop? Or is it contained?
I believe it's not a channel because he can spend his Zanya. If he has, let's say he has his Zanyas, right? He can use that and it still goes. So I'm pretty sure it still goes if he gets impaled. So they're going to try to avoid it. The other thing that's interesting are the fear changes that made their way several patches ago, mean that it's no longer random directional, so you can't lock stun somebody up by getting them to run into you with a certain angle. They're always going to run away from Illusion in any case. So that definitely adds a little more predictability to his Crowstorm ganks and helps out Starhorn just a bit.
Definitely. IG now looking for Roam Crowstorm.
And there's the first one. Kola, he's getting chunked down so fast. The drain's going down. Kid has his oh my goodness, flash for a flash, and it looks like Kid will take it down. Doesn't even need anything but a Bio Arcane Barrage to do it. And now
From
they're
the
gonna
free throw line, that Kid W, but there's a response. Dragon going down. Star Royal Club says, okay, we see where Illusion is. We know the Crowstormer's down. We can get something out of this. So hopefully this was worth it to give Kog'Maw a little bit of an edge up into this early game.
Youngsu is here, and on the outside, Zatai is. They might pay for this and kill. It looks like it's going to be a Dragon for him in, and they're looking to try and make a play out this one, but there's nobody else there for support. Insect, he almost got targeted down, but he still chunked out Youngsu. Kitty's a little bit late to the party, and Youngsu's going to melt. The Mega Inferno Bomb takes him down, and that was just a misplay by Youngsu. Now they're going to look for even more Kitties, though, on the backside, and this is going to be entertained by Cola. Kitties, he could get taken down here. He doesn't quite fall. They turn around for Uzi, but they managed to get Illusion as well. So 2 kills for 1, and a Dragon for Starhorn Royal Club, and that looked really sloppy, it seems, from Invictus.
The teleport really punished them right there. They overreached a little bit. Starhorn Royal Club was able to come back on the end of that, especially with the teleport splitting up IG, making the most of it. Also got the Dragon, so definitely in their favor right now. Don't have the, only have a gold advantage by 100 though.
Yeah, it's a really, really close game, just in general, because there has been, for every action, an equal and opposite reaction occurs, and they've been making the best of it on the side of Starhorn Royal Club, but that really was a better engage for them. Kid put some nice pressure onto the tower, however, Zatai doing the same thing in the mid lane, and despite the farm deficit, you can see Corrin really doing pretty solid to get back into this lane. However, he is getting poked out very heavily by Zatai.
Lulu Zig's probably the most played matchup internationally for a very long time now. It favors Lulu early. We talked about how Lulu has the early lane bully pressure. She still has. Corrin, though, that CS is starting to pick it up not only because he has the blue buff, but because Ziggs is a level-dependent champion. The more levels he has in his wave clear, obviously his CS is going to naturally boast from that. So that's why you're seeing suddenly the current swing from that 20 CS deficit he was playing from.
And he's got the double buffs too, picking that extra red over by killing Youngsu in the last fight. Speaking of Youngsu, he hasn't really been able to do much this game, been defined to this bot side, trying to fend off the 2v1 attack, and it's held him to 33 farm. So he's going to have a pretty delayed power spike in this.
Yeah, but he'll be okay just because how Shyvana scales with her resistances. She's not an item-dependent champion, so the gold isn't as important for her. It's much more about that experience, making sure that she gets those proper levels, so she has her ultimate level 11, big plays, big moves for her.
Zero looking to roam around and get some wards out. So with the Dragon being down for several more minutes now, attention is going to definitely shift over to these towers. No towers fallen yet for either team at 11.5 minutes in. And so far, Starhorn doing a better job of pressuring, as they did have quite a lot. Looks like this first tower will fall finally. Quite a lot on that bot side, as I was saying, but it's being answered on the top side now. Kid definitely has some range on Cola, should be able to poke this down, but he's not going to wave, and he decides, all right, I'll take it anyways. 250 gold over to the team. Nicely done to answer that one.
Starhorn Royal Club very pushed far forward, though, here. I feel like the roam from Illusion coming over to the side, they have to be very careful. The Crowstorm is available. They've got some side wards out there, but IG doing a very good job of protecting their flanks in their own jungle. A lot of early pink wards, a lot of defensive early pink wards down.
Yeah, I think Illusion is just waiting for them to wander generally to where he is, and they're not giving him the opportunity. Hiding out in this Triburst, trying to beta fight on their side now, Starhorn Royal Club. They have a lot of wombo combos should anyone decide to jump into this bush. Insect, Zero, Uzi have a lot of potent threats on their side. And Youngsu might be the one who baits this one. Oh my goodness, his health bar goes down to half as the Dragon's Descent away, and there's the Pyroclasm. And he says, okay, I guess I didn't want to face check that anyways. Meanwhile, the blue buff's going to go over to Zatai once more. But all the same, they're really denying Youngsu a lot of this.
And Youngsu's also rushing the Cutlass, which I don't particularly agree with. Typically, you go Bork if you're ahead as Shyvana in the lane, and you would go defensive, whether that be, Banshee Veil, Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape, Randuin's Omen.
Not so fun. Not so much this game.
It's not favoring Rin, though. 64 CS to 50. We talked about how CS, the gold, isn't necessarily as important on Shyvana because she scales off of resistances, but
nonetheless.
I feel like that Bork's definitely going to slow him down for what his job is, which is to protect
Well,
Kid.
it might slow his opponents down, too. Aha.
I see what you did there.
Yep. Now, meanwhile, Zatai saw what Zero did there, and he's going to be able to zoom away. They do poke him down pretty well, actually. Brand, not the tankiest of champions. Insect, meanwhile, might be caught right now between a couple of Void Void and other scary types of champions. I was going somewhere with that one. I completely failed at it.
You realized halfway through that.
I realized halfway through that didn't make any sense whatsoever, and I decided to back out of it gracefully, or as best as I could. They will clear a ward away, though.
You're like, oh no, Skarner's the Void champion.
Wait a minute, what am I talking about? Okay, so here we go. But you can already see Invictus Gaming looking for these chases. They are very confident in their ability to take fights. Just like last game, they have a pretty good mobility chase down. However, they need to be very patient if they want to take these fights. And you see Starhorn already able to contest pretty well. Meanwhile, Zatai getting in the business of a lot of members in that bot side jungle, but he's able to kite away anyways. Nicely done.
The terrifying thing, though, is the fact that a lot of their team fight, and by they, I mean IG, a lot of Invictus Gaming's team fight swings and hinges on Illusion's ability to hit the Crowstorm. He's going into a Gragas. So that was a first pick Gragas. They picked Fiddlesticks into the cask. Obviously, if Cola doesn't like a team fight, there's no Morgana support hero Black Shield to keep him in that. If the Crowstorm doesn't land perfectly and a cask does, that's bam, goodbye Crowstorm.
Yeah, if they can knock him out of that one, it definitely helps them take the better sustained fight. But right now, I don't think they're really too worried about it. Uzi going to duke it out with Youngsu. Doesn't really have any recourse, has to back away from this one. But now, Kitty's looking to try and set up a fight as well. Illusion didn't get the memo, though. He's not going quite there. So, still, Invictus looks a little bit scattered in this one. And they're trying to, like, hover over for this dragon. I don't know if they'll be able to take it, though. It looks like Kitty's getting locked up. He's impaled right now. Zero and Uzi trying to chunk him out. And that's going to be Kitty's going down. Dragon is being taken right now by Invictus Gaming, but they have to back away from this one. They do not have their tanky frontline. Kid trying to make things happen. He's going to void ooze away, and maybe they can burst this one down. I don't know, though. This is a dangerous predicament, and the teleport's coming in. Youngsu wants to make this happen. The Dragon's already very low, though. Can they take it down? It looks like Dragon is still being chased away. Now, Kid, he almost gets pushed back, and it looks like it will be Insect picking that one up. Nice turnaround in Illusion, half health, too. They get nothing. Oh, he nearly gets taken out on a bouncing bomb.
Illusion flash forward, looking for the fear, some sort of CC lockup, doesn't find it, so a huge flash gone. Again, we talk about kind of the dependency of Crowstorm for Invictus Gaming's team fight. Crowstorm didn't go down, flash was wasted. That's a huge factor of Crowstorm to make sure that he gets the correct positioning there. Good re-engagement from Starhorn Royal Club to pick up that dragon. Fantastic smite from, I almost called him Invictus, from Insect there.
Insect was Invictus this time, so they did a good job.
He stiff-armed Invictus.
Yeah, that was nicely done. And it seemed like it was an overcommitment from Kitties. He tried to put a ward down in that tri-brush, which is admirable, I suppose, and he got it down. But then he stepped forward and ran right into an impale, and that was it. They really had no recourse. They tried to rush down the dragon, but there's no damage available. This was the danger of picking a mid laner like Lulu, that you just can't get the burst there.
I like Starhorn's read, knowing that Youngsu had committed to the top lane. They knew that he had just backed out and where he was going. And by taking out Braum, Insect realized that he could commit his flash to kill off that tanky member, knowing that the initiate wasn't there. And then IG kind of nailed their own coffin by making sure that Illusion stayed visible on the map. I think if they had threatened with the Crowstorm of not being able to see him, as opposed to, you know, kind of standing out in the open and trying to burn down the dragon, it would have gone a little bit better. But now in the spot lane, Kitty's Kid finally meeting up for the first time.
And Illusion looking for the lane gank as well. He does have Crowstorm available should they push too far forward, but looks like Starhorn, no chance of that one. And they don't even have a ward on that one. Just nice game sense knowing that, hey, there could be a fiddle in that brush.
Fiddle in the middle?
Fiddle in the middle. No, he's in the bot. Okay, so Zatai. He sees Skarner, chases him away for the time being. Meanwhile, back the lanes have like set to where they were meant to be finally at long last, but Starhorn slight lead going into this mid game. Kid very low now, and if they look for the dive, they're trying to bait it out. Look, here's a juicy Kog'Maw. You guys can eat him right on up, but not falling for this one. They're not going forward for it.
Talk about how Kid is much more about kind of the Trinity Force champions. This time rushing Trinity on Kog'Maw. Pretty standard build. He likes to have that movement speed, that health, that attack speed, as well as the burst from the Sheen there. So, overall, great item there. Also has the beginnings of his Cutlass. I think he just has the Vamp Scepter, so trying to lifesteal this back up. Success rate on Kog'Maw, though, has not been there for Kid. Really hasn't been there for Kog'Maw until recently in the LPL.
Yeah, well, I know you have a very, very advanced lecture on all of the Kog'Maw play that is not deft. And here comes Illusion, but nobody is in there for the Crowstorm, so surprise, and that's not doing anything. So they're going to answer for a turret in the mid, though. Although maybe not, because Insect is here. The junglers are just doing a good job of being scary this game, it seems.
I don't know if Illusion is being scary so much as pointless.
Whoa, shots fired.
I'm sorry.
He hasn't panned out. You're right. He's 0-1. And I really feel like his positioning just hasn't been there, but partially it's Starhorn Royal Club's really innate game sense to not face check brushes that he's near.
The wording has changed. You have to think about kind of when Fiddlesticks was considered very strong. For the longest time, he was mainly kind of a support pickup. He fell out of the jungle. Ooh, but Insect looking at Youngsu now.
Yeah, Cola's in there too, but he does miss on the dash. He's going to get a nice lockup and stun as they sting him away. Youngsu still trying to dash out. Zatai gets the wild growth off, and all of a sudden they turn this one around. Cola's low. They're trying to chase him out. Corn's in the picture too, and everybody on Starhorn is muscling to try and keep everyone alive. Insect might get down here though too. The Dragon's Ascent's going in. He picks him up, but he falls for it. And now there's the drain onto Corn. Can they finish this one off? I don't think so. Zatai getting chunked out, taken low, and it's going to be Ziggs taking another kill. Corn mopping that one up, and now they're chasing away onto Illusion, who already spent his drain. That was nicely done by Starhorn to answer it back, but how crazy. And it seems like it's a 1-on-1, then it's a 2-on-1, and then it's a 3-on-2, and then before you know it, it's a full-blown team fight, these games.
And this is very indicative of the Chinese meta. They're very much about kind of reactionary, playing the team fight, stacking their abilities correct. What looked like a fantastic turnaround from IG turns into an overreach. Starhorn Royal Club collapses on it, which again, that reactionary style and punishes.
Uh-oh, face check coming in, and it looks like Kid will get melted. Excuse me, Uzi will get melted, and Kitties now gets turned on by the Mega in front of him. Kid has to flash out of there into the pit, but he does manage to pick up 2 kills, and they trade it for just 1. So nicely played by Invictus, and that gives Kid a 3-0 on this game. So there's a decent bit of work on Kog'Maw.
Well, I fangirl over Kid. I don't know if you've noticed, but that's probably the 4th time that Kid has sidestepped the brand lockup. This is like consistently every single team fight you'll see Kid with his blue suede shoes. He'll just do like slight little micros to the side to dodge the stun lockup. It has come out huge. I keep talking about how this is the split of Kid's life. He's playing so on point. He knows where he needs to be. He's positioning correctly, utilizing. I mean, that's not a
non-mobility champion too.
Exactly, that's not a fast champion. It's not like Kog'Maw's a race car. That's a little caterpillar. It doesn't have any wings. So fantastic job from Kid right there. A straight outplay.
Yeah, and that was nice, especially allowing Kitties to sacrifice for that and ensure that he would get the finish up. And getting a double kill just for Kitties is completely worth it at this stage of the game. He really needed that extra gold.
The one factor, though, is that he did burn his flash. Starhorn Royal Club knows it down. Again, we talk about the low mobility of a champion like Kog'Maw, especially going into a dragon fight that's going to be up in 13 seconds. Not having such a valuable cooldown, definitely going to be very scary for Kid. You think about you think about the Impale, the AoE between Ziggs and Zero. The cask, a bad cask, there's no way for Kid to reposition himself. He has Whimsy, he has Wild Growth, and that's about it. But completely relying on Zatai to be on the ball here.
And both top laners have teleport available should this turn really sticky really fast, but I think they're content to just bait this one out. So the Dragon's actually going to get called on the bluff, and Invictus Gaming just looking to shove out lanes while they're waiting for Starhorn to make the move, and it looks like they're making the move onto Lulu right now. Zatai might be in the middle of things, and he's going to get bursted pretty quickly. Does he have Wild Growth? No, he doesn't. The teleport now coming in from both top laners, but it's Invictus who's running away here, and Youngsu comes in at the wrong time in the wrong place. Dragon being started up, but it's a 4v5 without Zatai in there. I don't know if they can take this fight, but they want to. Illusion coming in. Zero's getting locked up. The Crow Storm gets big, but they knock him away. Nice played ult by Cola, and they are looking to try and take this fight. Dragon is so low. Kitties now. He's being bursted down too. Smite War goes in favor of Illusion. They take off the Dragon. Can they survive this one, though? Kitties is low. Kid is low as well. There's the Braum ultimate. They're turning this one around. I don't believe it. Youngsu now coming around the side for the distraction. They managed to make it out without any deaths. Oh, excuse me. It was Kid. And he goes boom. But they're still looking for the fight. Kitties now running away from this one. Zatai back up, but he's back at base, rushing to make something happen. At the end of the day, they trade Zero for Kid, but they nicely smite away the Dragon. Well played by Illusion.
Fantastic smite right there. Really, is that Seraph on Shyvana there? Sorry, Youngsu, but it was completely wrong side of the fight right there. Trying to go for a pinch. I mean, effectively what? He burns his teleport at the incorrect time. Burns a terrible Dragon Descent. He should have just canceled his, I mean, he could have sacrificed one for the other. Instead, he sacrificed both, and then he walks into the back of the team, and then he immediately regrets his decision and runs away. Good smite.
Yeah, that was a little bit too early. So the double teleport comes in. Cola's already in the picture. Youngsu there asks the Dragon's Descent away, and that it looks like it's really bad there. but somehow it gets turned in Invictus Gaming's favor. So nicely making something out of nothing, but here we go. Kitty's getting locked up now, and Pale, Insect doing work for his team, and it's going to be Zero mopping that kill up Zatai. Couldn't get there in time to do anything. And I have to say, Insect, definitely more effective on Skarner than Illusion had been.
He's got a lot more kill potential in his lanes, too. You think about just between him and Zero alone, the ability to chain the CC just because the Impale makes landing the WQ combo from Brand relatively easy.
Yeah, now, on the side of Invictus, you got to think that these team fights are going to start getting really scary once the items get fleshed out. Fiddlestick's only sitting on the Seeker's arm guard. Once he gets that completed into Azania's Hourglass, I think the fights take a completely different angle.
Yeah, a lot of power is really riding on these items, these compositions, how they can play them out, which is kind of really where it should be. It comes down to important cooldowns, the Impale, of course, Insect if he can make something big happen for his team. If the Impale doesn't come down on a priority target, if the Cask isn't able to disengage Illusion's Fiddlesticks, it comes down to the Crow Storm, and it comes down to the Wild Growth and the Whimsy on Kid particularly. So,
True facts.
all of the power.
Such untapped power. There's not even a Syndra this game. So, at this point, the game is still relatively even, but Starhorn clearly, or well, somewhat have a gold lead here. It's about 2,000, 2,500. So that's a pretty decent number for them right now. They only have one tower to the 2 of Invictus. However, they seem to be taking engagements at least at first better, but they're not finishing it up when they have a clear advantage, and that's somewhat worrying going into the later game. We saw Invictus nearly pulled it out in that last one, and they could very easily do it again and make this series a 1-1.
When we talk about what happened last game, it was pretty much an outscale comp. Yasuo, Kaelin coming in big into the late game. This time around, Invictus Gaming have Kog'Maw. They have Lulu. This is a very practice run comp. It has a very clear idea of what it wants to do, you know, make Kog'Maw into that super hyper carry. They have a good tanky front line between Braum and Shyvana, and then you kind of throw Illusion's Fiddlesticks as a comfort pick, you know. I feel like Illusion's kind of the random factor here. Offers a little bit of CC lock, but...
The fiddle factor.
The fiddle factor.
This mid... That's the first time, the only time you'll ever hear that phrase. But this mid turret getting bursted down pretty quickly. I feel like Starhorn has a better siege composition right now, and they just happen to have better...
Oh, it's Sig's Lucian,
poke.
Of course.
Yeah. No, there's really no answer for that. Now Kid is doing a pretty good job at being able to poke out fights, but... I think Invictus really needs to find an engage angle that works for them. They need to be able to take out these squishies very quickly. And they're trying to nice poke on the Glitterlance, but meanwhile, Illusion gets caught out for just a second, and that's all Zero and Insect need to mop that one up. This tower is going to fall now. 5v4, they can't really do much, and, well, the fiddle factor didn't pan out that time.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of their hard engage is on that Fiddlesticks. You think that they have the Braum ultimate, they have Dragon's Descent, and they have Crowstorm. Crowstorm obviously being the biggest hard engage factor there. I mean, best case scenario, they time the fissure with the Crowstorm coming down.
Zatai was not prepared for that bomb.
From downtown.
Yeah, that was a three-pointer, big time. So nicely played by Corn. By the way, we didn't talk about this earlier, but Corn is 6-0 on this game. He has got a Void Staff already. He has got another needlessly large rod. He's still sitting on Boots 1. I mean, this is a scary Ziggs.
I think it's really gone over to Insect, though. Not to take away from Corn, obviously playing
He has been
fantastic.
setting the fights.
Well, it's the Ziggs has a semi-global presence, and he's had some fantastic ults this game. Not just that one, but I think 2 other previous ones to help pick him up kills, which is half his kills right there. Obviously has the AoE potential of that, and just following Insect around. Ooh, a very early Baron on a ward.
Yeah, and I don't think they're prepared for this. Invictus, they're scrambling to get there. I think they know what's happening, but this is a bad time. Zatai is gone. They're realizing the weakness here on Starhorn. Can Yangsu defend successfully? Kitties is here. Oh my goodness, he's going to get denied the Dragon Descent. They say they swat him away like a fly, and they just keep on going. Now Kitties getting chunked down too. That was just a huge power move. Zatai going down now. Megan Furnabomb already up again on the cooldown with the blue buff and with the Baron buff, and they get 2 kills. just seemingly with ease here.
Completely.
I mean, I'm almost speechless. That was insane.
Uncontested Baron. And the second time of the set. Starhorn World Club, the very first split, they got the first the first Baron, completely uncontested. I don't think there was even vision on it the first time. This game around, there is vision, but IG completely out of position to do anything about it. Starhorn World Club in the driver's seat, 47 to 41k, so 6 hit gold advantage. About to get the tower advantage, 13 to 6 in the kills. IG, yes. They need to stall this out long enough for Kid to be a factor here, but with that Baron, and again, the Ziggs, Lucian, Tower Siege combo, Starhorn World Club can end the game. Effectively, a bad team fight in mid near that tower, those towers were burned down really quickly.
Yep, and you can see those cosplayers are quite excited to see that. Here comes Illusion at the Crow Storm. He flashes in, gets the Zhonya's off. This might be what they need. They actually get a kill off onto Korn, and that is a huge amount of shutdown gold that's going to go over to that Fiddlesticks. But can they follow it up? They get the one kill. Dragon is now available. Invictus has a chance to come back in this, but they really need to start taking more engagements like that. They need to all be in position so they don't get just one kill. They need to be able to mop up 2, 3, 4.
It's reactive versus proactive playstyles. You finally saw Illusion get on the offensive there, but so much was expended. The Flash, the Crowstorm, and the Zhonya's for 1 kill. Yes, it was on Korn. That's a big bonus. It offers them the Dragon, so small consolation prize, kind of easing their way back into this game as far as gold, but that needed to happen 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah, clearly they're just starting to get their bearings, and Starhorn has already turned up the throttle in this game. They are 4K, excuse me, in the lead. It's not insurmountable, but with 4 members still rocking the Baron buff for the time being, they have to find angles to engage at that they're just not getting into, and their jungle is being invaded constantly. They need to get a 5v4 or 5v3 presence advantage to really take these fights. And they're still trying to play it out like it's in the lanes. You see the top laners back to normal. Still, actually, Youngsu defending that top tower. And they really just need to be roaming together.
I feel, yes, you're correct that the roam needs to happen, but still a lot of members baroned up on the side of Starhorn Royal Club. And this is actually beneficial to IG because Starhorn hasn't focused their power in one direction. It looks like they're finally starting to sweep kind of towards that top tier tower. Very.
Yep, Youngsu trying to keep Insects locked up, and Kitty's rushing towards it. They have Kid and Illusion on the outside too, but the rest of Starhorn is here. At least a couple members of Starhorn, and they smartly disengaged that one. Read it like a book.
Crowstorm not quite up and available to them yet, but Illusion coming in the back will have that ultimate in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, this could be a pretty bloody fight if they decide to take it, because everybody on Starhorn now aware of this one. Uzi, though, content to farm up in the mid for the time being, and they're looking to take this easiest objective on the outside tower. Looks like Invictus doesn't want to contest this.
And there's no reason they really can. Again, still very much a baroned up Starhorn Royal Club. It's first tier tower. It's not going to offer a lot of assistance or protection in this team fight. Starhorn Royal Club finally condensing their power into kind of one point and finding a lane, pushing it through. See if maybe they can turn this into 2 towers. The Crowstorm.
Oh, I don't know, though. That's a big combo. That's exactly what they needed. The teleport coming in now for Youngsu. Illusion! He gets melted as soon as he comes out of the Zhonya's, and they don't find anybody but Uzi, but that might be what they needed. Illusion traded for that one, so one more member without the Baron buff. However, still, threat remains on Starhorn, and they're looking to push back with renewed vigor here. Save this one.
Starhorn loses quite a bit of their siege potential with Lucian down. They still, of course, have Gragas 6, so they're able to clear the waves, but they lose the tower burning factor of Lucian.
And here we go. No ults available this time. Kid and Youngsu being taken low. Kid has 1 tick on his health bar. How is he cutting this one out? I don't believe it. He stays alive, and now he's going to finally go down. But that was insanity. They end up trading a... Oh, my goodness. Even as they say it, it's still going. They end up trading a 3 for 3. Korn stays alive, so they still have the siege pressure along with 0, but Kitties and Zatire Blinken have to go back to base. Invictus Gaming nearly grabbed the lead in that.
People talk about why the Trinity is still kind of a viable build path, or why it kind of became the go-to for Kog'Maw. That kiting is exactly why. He would not be able to do that without the Bork and the Trinity, so there you go.
Kudos to Kid. I mean, that wasn't just the Bork. Let's see this again. Instant replay. Korn comes in. He throws down the bomb field. Kitties is now trying to kite away. Kid actually gets pulled in by Insect's ult. He's taken almost to nothing, flashes away. He is still kiting it out, healing up as he goes. Insect turns around, Youngsu body blocking. There is the big Lulu ult, and Kid stays alive thanks to his Borg. Cola nearly goes down in this one, and I cannot believe it. That's a big cog explosion, actually. And nicely done, actually. Gragas moving back in because he realized he would not be able to dodge out from the Kathy and surprise of Kid. So it was a decent trade, but Starhorn still marching forward, still answering with turrets and with more kills. And they're still in the driver's seat this game.
IG stalled out and survived the game, though, with the Baron. Baron about to come up in another, what, minute 30 here for them coming up.
Yeah, that'll be the next big
that could
fight.
have been a big end for them. They played the map pressure well, made sure that Starhorn, they got 3 towers. They got second tier mid tower, first tier top tower, second tier top tower. So didn't grab an inhibitor off of that. About 34 minutes into this game, so not a bad stall. Not the best Baron from Starhorn. Of course, they will get a second chance at this as it comes up. Ooh, Cola.
Youngsu, not sure if I want this. Okay, now. No, I don't. Zero's here. Run away.
He definitely doesn't want it now.
Yeah, they have to be able to mobilize and take more fights like that, except they still have to come out ahead. They're losing towers in this engagement, so even though it's even otherwise, it's not looking good. It's slowly but surely pushing against them. Starhorn World Club, 5 turrets to the 2 of Invictus Gaming. And if this ends up being a 2-0, this is going to be pretty rough for Invictus's shots going forward in the standings.
It'll make the climb very difficult indeed, but again, Kid playing the split of his life, and unfortunately IG just cannot get it together. See if they're able to stall out this game long enough to allow this Kog'Maw to continue to show off his moves like Jagger, because again, these blue suede shoes, that kite, the dodge, the 1W he doesn't dodge though.
Oh no, the catch illusion, and he's going to be able to Zanya's stall out for just a moment before he flashes away. Zatai getting the ult off on him, but boom, Kitties jumps in, can't block the Mega Inferno Bomb though. Zero gonna mop that one up at the end with a Q. Youngsu and crew are just running away from this one now, and they just can't prevent the deaths. There's so much burst on this side of Starhorn, and Illusion is just too squishy.
And so many ultimates were just used defensively. You had the Braum ultimate went down, the Wild Growth is gone, Crowstorm's still available, but of course Illusion is dead here, so Starhorn making the correct decision, saying, okay, we know that their vital ultimates are down, we can now force the tower. If it gets really rough and we find an engagement we like, we can even tower dive.
Up Youngsu though, and Zatai, they're in the middle of all this one. The Kid coming in on back of Uzi, just realizing he doesn't want to take that one. It seems that Starhorn is getting a lot better at adapting to the threat that is evolving here on this side of Invictus Gaming. Now the Baron being pinged out by Invictus, are they really going to try this without their jungler? I have no idea why they would do this, realizing everybody might be missing for the time being, but now they're just trying to bait this one out. Okay, they see Uzi, he's coming around the side as well, looking for the blue buff, but yeah, that was an incredibly gutsy call there.
They're still pausing for it, waiting for Zero to face check to drop some words.
Oh, they're going to go for Zero, actually. He's going to get chunked down really quickly. And here's the fight is on. Zatai and Kitty's in there. Going to Wild Growth onto himself. He's going to try and kite away from the rest of this. Insect going to pull the rest of the back, but they pull him out of the Zigzol. And Kid is still alive. Illusion coming in with the Crowstorm, but now Kid melts in that one, and they take out Illusion, swatting him down like a fly, even though the rest of Starhorn is low. And they might have gotten paused from Zatai there. They still come out ahead in that one. A 1-for-2, blinking health bars all around, and it looks like Starhorn looking to push up mid. Now they're pinging for the Baron.
Again, the overreach from Invictus Gaming, it looks so good initially, kind of a drive-by on Zero, but Starhorn Royal Club able to collapse on their flanks effectively, protect the carries that they needed to get the damage down, gives them this free Baron contest. Illusion?
My goodness, the teleport, Youngsu. Are they going to force the back away? I mean, everyone's low, but no, Youngsu, you can't do that. And he just absolutely gets demolished. And Zatai trying to make something happen too, but he only ends up giving another kill over to Uzi. And that might be the nail in the coffin, as Starhorn Royal Club, low as they are, looking to pick up this Baron. Nearly uncontested, but yeah, sure, why not? We'll take a couple of kills out of that one. Now Uzi going to try and put some hurt onto Kitties. He's going to block this one away, but he might be able to take him out anyways. The bomb coming in, the culling, and Uzi flawless in these kills. 6 and 3 and 8 on this one. Picks himself up a red buff on the outside as well, and he stalls it out just for a second, just for the style points. But 22-11, massive gold lead now in favor of Starhorn, and they've got the Baron buff once again. I don't know if there's any stopping this team.
Invictus Gaming are effectively high-fiving each other as they run one after another into the Starhorn Royal Club team. Uzi picking up a majority of these kills, 6, 3, and 8. Can't forget Korn though, 7, 1, and 11. This Starhorn Royal Club team, this is the team that kind of everyone's been talking about. Everyone says, you know, Starhorn, they can be top 3, they can go to Worlds, they can stand with OMG, EDG. Haven't really found it in the late game. Complete turnaround, night and day. Banging on all cylinders.
The grouping on Starhorn
the
is
collapse
incredible.
from them.
Nobody has less than 50% kill participation on that team.
You have fantastic compositions that are coming out. They showed really good patience and control over objectives from the last game, this game as well. They're reactionary in their team fights. Uzi looking much more solid than he has. Of course, he's always been strong, but he's kind of made some questionable, we'll call them double lift flashes, flashing into kind of 5 members, being much more safe and protected this time around. Like, this is a very scary team.
Yeah, and I don't think Invictus Gaming is really respecting how scary they really are. Illusion,
especially
clearly not
this,
out on the Fiddlesticks. I mean, they're
Fnatic
trying to catch out Uzi. They might though. Whoa, his health bar is low. Zero trying to save him, can't do it. And Kid picks himself up a kill. Can these catches though get them back into the game? This is a huge hill to climb out of. And Invictus looking to chase down more kills. Well, yep, no dragon, guys. All right, I guess we'll go back.
I'm really critical. Like, we talk about how Fiddlesticks is a comfort pick for Illusion. Elise was available. We talked about how they were kind of banning out the jungle. Ooh, but Zero getting caught out.
This would be really big right now for Invictus. They do pick it up. Another kill for Kid. Now they have pressure on their side. There is no bot lane left right now for Starhorn Royal Club. There's a wave pushing in this mid side. Can Cola and Insect stall this one out? Illusion hanging around the outside looking for the dive. Youngsu, not sure what he's doing. He's not really in the picture right now, and the wave does get cleared away. They need to capitalize on this. It's 39 minutes in. Death timers are relatively long at this point. If they're going to dive, they have to do it now.
Look at the Co-Storm. Illusion set up on the side, has his little pink ward, has his Zanya's.
Insect realizes this is happening, but they burst Illusion down before he gets finished, and the chase is on. Insect getting caught up, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Cola now getting shut down. The burst is so big right now. Zatai gets the kill. They're looking to turn onto this tower, but now Kid on the wrong side of this one. Can they finish it off? They do get a 2-for-1, but Illusion, complete non-factor in these engagements. They just burst it down too quick.
Now, Illusion obviously completely removed from the map. I think the cast dropped on him, and it was almost a one-shot, just completely dead. But you have to think, this is a 1-6-7 Fiddlesticks, and he just traded himself for the 1-3-11 Skarner. So yes, Illusion, technically he's not the big damage dealer, you know, coming for the kills, but the CC lockup and the initiate, trading that resource of kind of your 1-6, I'm gonna call him the feeding Fiddlesticks right now, trading your feeding Fiddlesticks for the giant Skarner, definitely fair and an IG side.
Yeah, and it's working out okay for them, I suppose. They did manage to pick up a tower for it, but the answer from Starhorn, what are they going to do here? Because they have been able to take fights up until now, but they find themselves in this familiar situation as they were last game, the later game, and suddenly Invictus, despite being very behind, 10k in the hole, and not a lot of towers, they're able to do things like this. Illusion comes in.
Oh, can we watch this?
Storms, Mega Inferno Bomb is going to go to the back line. Illusion, he gets blown up, but they don't even care on Invictus. They're like, all right, you just spend a bunch of ults, we're just going to keep diving you.
Again, trading that power of your Fiddlesticks for Skarner, always in favor of IG. But we talk about kind of what Starhorn Royal Club needs to do right now. We were just kind of praising them. Oh, they look so good right now. The last kind of 2 team fights that have gone in IG's favor have been picks and number advantages. It hasn't been a true 5v5. I have no doubt that if Starhorn Royal Club got a 5v5 on Invictus Gaming, unless Kid pulled some sweet moves like Jagger, you know, put on his blue suede shoes, laced up his Nikes, his Pumas.
He has been doing it.
It has been doing it, but they have the 5v5 advantage.
The Nike Void Edition are the rarest of shoes.
10k gold advantage is just now about kind of getting that gold involved with these fights instead of, you know, getting picked off and fighting a 3v5.
Here's Starhorn pressuring the map on this bot side. They have a wave, a pretty big one, pushing in their favor on this bot side, and they're trying to make an advantage out of it. Since there's nothing else to contest on the map at this exact moment, they've chosen to try and knock down the front door. Can they burst it down? So far, Invictus not really reacting, but just with a little bit of poke. It's just a slow war of attrition, and Starhorn kind of afraid to go in on this one.
Well, Starhorn reverting back to their strategy that we saw before about being very controlled, being very practiced, very patient, and burning down these towers. Yes, the inhibitor towers respawn, so it's a little bit slower going, but they have Ziggs, they have Lucian, and actually, as I say this, they're completely backing off the tower, looking for some other objective.
Yeah, Starhorn seems like they're not as confident as they were even 5 minutes ago. Before that last dive, they seemed like they could take just about anything and really making a big power play, but all of a sudden the team looks like they've just turned scared.
Well, it's a
maybe the Fiddlepeer's working out.
No, it's a 6-item Kog'Maw at level 18. I mean,
that's the true terror.
has his Banshee Veil available to him, has Eye Edge, Bork, Trinity Force. I mean, think about how expensive this build is. Kid running around 9, 3, and 4. Compare that to the rest of his team. 1, 4, 3, 5, 1, 6, 1, 5. This is literally a one-man team with a bunch of supporting options. Again, we talk about how Illusion's effectively trading his life every single time for just as long as Illusion ults in, and if he just kills one person, it's a fair trade because he's I'm going to use the word worthless. He's effectively kind of worthless to his team. But again,
he needs to get that Zhonya's off before he dies.
Well, the exchange rate right now is so fantastic in their favor.
Yeah, they were looking to go for the Death Brush, but realizing nobody from Starhorn was even in the area. Baron's going to come up in about 20 seconds now, and this should be the ultimate showdown if they choose to take a straight fight. But you're right, Invictus has been doing this crazy guerrilla warfare tactics and catching people out and trying to make something happen lightning fast. And I don't think they'll go for the straight fight. They might try to take a Baron bait here, but so far it's Starhorn that has the positioning for it.
Youngsu does have the teleport available to him, so trying to push at that wave. The first tier bottom tower is still up for Starhorn Royal Club. 3 towers to 6 in favor of Starhorn. I mean, IG, they can't let this Baron go through. They do have the stall options there. But the siege on Starhorn is pretty disgusting between Zigzalution. We keep going back to it. If they had the region of the Baron, the War of Attrition would last that much longer.
And the Ward War is continuing to go out now. Yeah, Kid's just sidestepping everything. He doesn't even burn his Banshees on that.
He's been so on point, but it's still an uphill battle for IG.
Oh, here we go. The fight's starting. Illusion in the picture right now. Zero has to flash away as Fiddlesticks nicely is able to Zhonya's away, but he still loses half his health bar in a heartbeat. Zero loses a lot more than that, though. So far, advantage IG, and they're on the chase. Summoner heal being popped. Youngster looking to chase down Cola, and Kid is in the front line of this one. Cola's health bar is at half. Uzi I has to dash away. They might be in position to take a tower here. This is a nice move, and they're going to turn for Baron.
This Baron will burn so quickly under Kog'Maw. That's a Bork Eye Edge Kog'Maw. If he presses W, this is like a 20 hits to dead. The ward is there. They are clearing it, so Starhorn realizes what's happening, and they are going to straight up go for the Baron, not going to try to pull a bait.
Oh, the Ziggs bomb's coming in, and no barrel toss is going to stop that one. Illusion will get the smite away. Nice teleport, nice try by Cola, but they get out with the Baron. And Kitties, everybody dashing away now. They realize they might get caught in this one, looking for the fight. Kitties, though, he's at half health. Youngsu, he's getting poked out too. And Illusion Eagle melt just as fast if he goes in on this one. They're trying to find the fight, but it looks like they find Cola. And here they go. Kitties, he's going to get the ult off. Only hits 1 or 2. Banshee's Veil's coming in really big this time. Kid, he's going to get a kill. Kitties, though, he's taking low on the outside as well. I love saying those names. And they're managing to mop up. Huge, but it's getting turned around on them. The Wild Growth comes in. Uzi I's getting kills, but he's going to get turned on. It's a tie now, and Kid, the only members left, but everybody has melted on either side. An Insect, health bar, a Blinken, along with Korn. And that might not have been the most worth trade for Invictus as they lose 3 members with Baron.
But their 2 most important members still have it, Kid and Zatai, and this game is all about them. Kid, the Mega Inferno Bomb does miss, so playing a very dangerous game, hanging around, trying to get his life steal back up, might mosey down for that bottom tower, but again, game entirely in their hands.
Yeah, Invictus has done a miraculous job of turning this one around. The gold lead has been cut down so low at this... Well, it's not that low, but it's still... It was at, what, 12K, and now it's at half that? I mean, they've managed to turn this around. And this fight, while it maybe didn't go quite in their favor, yeah, they do manage to get out with the 2 most valuable players still sitting pretty. And they spent quite a lot of ults on the enemy team in the process. They have to get back and defend their towers now that they did have a few waves pushing against them. And yeah, it almost looked like Kitty's ult just got denied there, the number of Banshee Veil pops.
It really comes down to, yes, there's still quite a sizable gold difference, but where the gold is for Invictus Gaming is exactly where it needs to be. And the supporting champions on Kid, they don't need gold to be effective. You think Braum, Shyvana, Zatai, her Lulu. We talk about how Lulu's power is all in her abilities and how she's able to transfer that to the AD carry. Doesn't necessarily, like, it helps to have the gold there. Obviously, the more AP, the faster that little Kog'Maw is going to run. He's already zooming around like a race car. Talk about how Shyvana, again, a resistance-based champion. She levels naturally and she gets tanky. Her dragon form gives her natural tankiness. Does it help to have those items? Yes, but she doesn't necessarily need a ton of gold to be effective at what she does to soak damage. Braum, of course, completely utility in his tankiness there, so the fact that IG is so far behind in gold doesn't hurt them as much because Kid is 12, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it's full builds too. Did Kid just sell his Banshees to buy a Mercurial?
He did.
Well, all right. I like the way you think.
Well, he's not really getting hit by anything. Again,
no, I mean,
lazy.
it's working out pretty well for him, so you might as well. On the side of Illusion, though, he has been a little bit more handy in these engages lately, and this time he didn't actually melt right away, even though he got turned around by Uzi. But going forward, it seems like they're hesitant on IG side to really follow up when Illusion does go forward for a couple of seconds, and that's why he's getting bursted so quickly. I feel like they could optimize their engages a little bit better.
They're really waiting for Kid to find a good path through. They need to keep him alive.
Or a good death rush.
If Kid goes down, it's pretty much good night, Sweet Prince for IG. And Starhorn, they have the tools to do that. They have the Impale. Of course, the Banshee Veil isn't there. He does have the... I believe Quicksilver Sash is built out of that item, so he can cleanse it. I haven't seen that item in a long time, though, so correct me if I am wrong.
Mercurial? Yeah, no, he can.
Okay, yeah, so he has the cleanse available to him, but, you know, still the reposition is there. He'd have to cleanse out of it and then burn his Flash, which Flash isn't up, so... Impale's still a big damage threat right there, completely relying on his own positioning. So we talk about, again, you have the tools on Starhorn Rail Cup to shut down IG. It's now just a matter if they can capitalize on that. The Impale... the Ziggs AoE, the Cask, the Brand AoE, the Brand lockup, the stun.
Seems like it all comes down to positioning, though. I mean, it looks like Invictus has been playing this map pressure game very well, despite the fact that Starhorn has been in the lead most of this game. They're still able to apply these waves up in the top, up in the bot, and get in, get out when they need to. And you mentioned the speed up. Kid has been on wheels this game. They have not been able to catch that cog. He's died 3 times. That is lower than almost anybody in the game except for Korn, who they only managed to burst down once. And I guess that's the big problem for IG right now. It looks like Skarner looking to take a fight, but there's no one there that wants to follow him in.
And it's unfortunate because IG, even if they really get a handle on this game, they're still competing uphill against Cola and Korn, Ziggs and Gragas. That wave clear is insane. They need to have probably both of them, if not at least one of them dead if they want to try to turn this into a siege. So we talk about how, yes, it's fantastic that IG got the Baron, they took the last team fight, but it's still a very big uphill battle. Starhorn Royal Cup effectively has to decide that they're going to fight out in the open against a Baron team, get aced before IG can look for victory here. Which, again, the map is so far spread open. They have a lot of safety on their side, a lot of 6 items coming out, 50-minute games, so it's really hard to find the ace here. The mobility that Starhorn has, it's so easy for Cola to escape from a fight because of his natural tankiness, his natural mobility, so even if the fight starts to go sour, Cola can just be like, you know what, maybe I don't want this, backs off, you know, brings insects with them. Immediately they have a lot of anti-siege available to them.
Yeah, now the big question remains, when do people start buying blue trinkets this game?
Oh, the orbs?
Yes.
Well, it's been so much about fiddlesticks, like Illusion landing his ult, so Sweeper is definitely going to be a big thing here to control the vision to make sure that he can't get those for free.
Mm-hmm. So they have been doing a pretty good job at knowing when he's camping in a brush and waiting for him. However, IG has still gotten away with quite a lot in making this happen. You know what I would actually like to see on Illusion, and you'd feel free to disagree with me on this one, Frost, but I would like him to get a Guardian Angel as a 6th item, just because. Oh, you finished me? Okay, you really didn't.
These
fights have been so long, it'd be worth it.
But he CCs one person before he instantly dies.
Yeah, and then he can do it again if they forget about him, right? So actually, the map pressure on the side of on the side of Invictus Gaming, as the Baron is due up in another 30 seconds, and well, Youngsu is in very serious danger of being collapsed on if he stays too far forward here, but doing a nice job of drawing the pressure away. And actually, if he does it for a while longer, they might be able to. Well, no, they're not falling for it on the side of Starhorn, but here's the brush bait again.
They need to be really careful, though. Unfortunately, Kid wasn't in position because when this Baron spawns, okay, now he's moseying over, the burn from IG can happen so quickly.
Oh my goodness, it is going to be a race here. I don't think Starhorn realized this was going to happen so quickly, and they actually decide to peel off into this against this mid side, and they go, okay, well, we're going to try for the Baron now, but Invictus has already got it. That was a nice burst move A really, really nice one. And look, Youngsu going in for the teleport. I don't know if he knows the rest of his team was not quite there yet because he's already chunked extremely low. However, he does manage to stay alive for the time being, and Invictus kind of forced into a fight that it might have not looked like they wanted to take. Insect, though, he's really low. Cola, he's being cut out the side, and all of a sudden, everybody on the side of Starhorn is pretty hurt, and it looks like Korn. He's in the wrong side of the rest of the team, has to flash away, and he could get taken down. Oh my goodness, he's going to burn his Zanyas, but then fall down. It's a 2-for-none trade for Invictus. Nicely played by them, and they can turn for this mid lane right now.
We talk about who do they need to take out. They need to take out Cola, they need to take out Korn. Who are the 2 members that are dead on Starhorn Royal Club? All of their anti-siege gone. They effectively have a culling left to them if that ability just about to come off of cooldown to slow down this, but Kid is going to melt these towers. Look at that damage.
Yeah, with no disengage from Korn and Cola. You talked about these are the guys that they need to burst, and that's exactly who they got. Couldn't get Ziggs in the backline at first. They got Cola on the outside. It looked like Youngsu might have been too over-aggressive, but now they are paying the price on Starhorn Royal Club for their, well, hubris, really, and just their positioning. Kid, he's going to get pulled in by Insect, but there's Youngsu coming in for the disengage, and Kitty's going to pop him up as well. It looks like the turrets are falling pretty quickly here, and the Nexus should get bursted down. This is going to be game number 2. Over to Invictus now, so a 1-1 split this time. Starhorn, they might be in second place, but they can't quite separate from the pack, and Invictus Gaming pulls it out in what looked like a losing match for sure.
Biggest thing about that game, 53-minute impale on the Kog'Maw. Insect, what are you doing right now? That needed to happen so much sooner, so much earlier, so many more times. Kig coming up huge for his team, and you said it straight off the bat. Starhorn and IG, they have very similar records. Starhorn, of course, in the top. They are now the second place team. Of course, World Elite has a chance to play for that title further down into the evening. Not quite yet, so IG way down in the bottom, but yet they split 1-1.
Yeah, so you want to talk about records. How about that 0% Skarner win rate in LPL, huh? All right, well, guys, that's all the time we have for in this particular game set. So Will be back in just a few minutes with our regular in-between set segment called the Finger Trap. So please don't go anywhere. Please enjoy the commercials and the promotionals. While we are away, we will be right back with you guys. You are watching the LPL in English, so don't touch that browser.